little teeny thing. Well, it's great.
And it's doing a great job, yeah.
Okay, I'd like to call the Human Resources and Public Works Committee to order. And our first item is approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support, it's been moved and supported to approve the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry, the agenda is approved. Okay, next item is call to the public. Do we have any public online?
We do not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, our first item of business this morning is consider approving the agreement between Peerless Midwest Incorporated and Isabella County for the Lake Isabella Water Supply System Well Number 1 and Well Number 2 pump repairs, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Tim?
It's down here, so that the camera can pick
Morning.
What's going on here?
Bob had a previously scheduled appointment, so he couldn't make it this morning.
Okay,
So,
you. If you want to raise that, it's this one here, if that's too low for
okay,
you.
yeah.
On this side over here.
Just- I thought
You
you'd
got
like
it,
him
that
on
one
the
right
floor.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little low for you. There you go.
There we go.
okay. Okay.
Thanks. So this is, presented a contract to sign between Isabella County and Peerless Midwest, who is the contractor that submitted a bid, back in December. For our RFB, they qualified, this is to rehabilitate, repair wells 1 and 2 at Lake Isabella Water System.
Mhm.
Well, number 2 is the first one on our agenda. It's the one that's the least efficient right now for whatever reason. And so we accepted their bid. And so I'd like to ask the board to sign a contract so we can move forward with the repairs.
You know the time frame on this,
Timeframe is,
as when it would be.
well, I'm looking to have it done before the summer. That's
Okay.
their busiest time, so. So preferably, before Memorial Weekend is usually when the park opens up. And then of course, summertime for the more usage.
It's a project we've tried to get done for a few years.
Yeah,
and
it's been
for
on here.
whatever reason, you've approved this as a capital expense in your budget a couple of times, and for whatever reason, the project just didn't get done. And this year we decided, well, let's do both wells, let's put out an RFP for both wells. It came back well over what we have budgeted, but in working with Tim in the drain office, they do have enough to go ahead with well number 2. And this contract does allow us to do one and not, but we wouldn't
Oh.
have to do both. It
Does it
allows us.
have to do with, I mean, all this time delay, does everything get more expensive?
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically, that's what it amounted to from the time we submitted some of our budget proposals and the budgets. And with the pandemic and everything,
Mhm.
I don't know. Labor, I talked to them, labor's gone up, materials have gone up. And don't necessarily see that as going down immediately. For
Right.
whatever reason, things just are costing more right now,
Right,
unfortunately, but we can't keep waiting on the wells.
sure,
At
sure.
This one in
Makes sense.
particular
Pretty critical.
is, not performing at all. So we need to figure out.
Especially
what-
number 2, right?
Yeah, we need to figure out what's going on and try to get it back up to closer to its rating.
Okay, could I get a motion,
We
please?
sure can. Motion to consider approving the agreement between Peerless Midwest Incorporated and Isabel County for the Lake Isabel Water Supply System Well Number 1 and Well Number 2 pump repairs, and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support's been moved and supported to move item 4 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The motion carries. The item will be forwarded to next week's county commission meetings.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
Sir,
Thank you. That was painless.
Tim. Okay,
should be a pretty famous name.
the next item is review and assess the semi-annual 2% application for the Isabella County Commission on Aging, requesting $790 for programs and services. And we have Jennifer Crawford here. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. So before you, this is our request for this spring 23 2% application process. And as in the past, one thing that the tribe has requested of Commission on Aging is that we submit the exact same application in the spring and then again the fall. So you'll see the same application again this fall when that time rolls around. Since 1995, I mean, their generosity has just been incredible to the Commission on Aging. We received just under $10 million in 2% funding. Our applications, they are a collaboration through all of the managers at Commission on Aging. So it represents all of our programs, and any funding we do receive goes specifically to our programs and services, nothing in our administrative budget. So we're hopeful that you'll approve this request again. We've just been so fortunate with their support.
Any comments or questions at this time?
All good.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to review and access the semi-annual 2% application for the Isabel County Commission on Aging requesting $555,790 for the programs and services.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 5 to the work and regular session of the County Commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. The motion, the item will be forwarded to next week's meeting.
Thank
Thanks, Jennifer.
you. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.
Okay, our next item is review and assess the semi-annual 2% application from the Isabella Conservation District requesting $165,000 for the septic system cost share program.
So we'd hope that Crystal would be here from the Conservation District, but I think it's just a little clunky bringing her into the fold of the 2% process under the county umbrella. So basically, I'll talk about their septic system cost sharing program. Fantastic program. You know how we have the time of transfer program now where septic systems are inspected before a sale or a transfer of ownership. And it's identifying a lot of things that need to be fixed, whether or not the people can pay for it, right? And so this program actually provides, I think, 75% up to $15,000 toward assistance towards septic system improvements.
Up to how much?
I think it's up to $15,000 each. Yes, 75% of the landowner's lowest bid up to $15,000. Landowners are responsible to pay the additional 25%. But what a savings to that landowner, and really what happens if they can't afford it, right? That's the story I think we don't want to tell. And so this is a program I think that marries with that time of transfer program to ensure that those improvements actually happen. It puts money in people's hands to help make those.
That's great.
A fantastic program. And I think they've been successful thus far with the money that they've been given, and so they are furthering this.
So, okay, so cost share refers to the 75-25 split.
Yes. Yes, between the landowner and this program, and they hope to do at least 15, it looks like, septic repairs.
Is there a time limit on this program?
They're estimating that will cover the 23 construction season and spring of 24, but I think it's that until the money runs out, kind of, right? You've seen, like, our trial court has done 2% grants in the past for drug testing, and they've been able to get drug testing through other means, and so they don't dip into that 2% funding, so it kind of lasts longer. Same could happen here, right? If people aren't identified with a need, then the money will last longer. But you know, that's something that we'll actually get to find out maybe now that the tribe is incorporating a reporting element to their 2% grants going forward. So these are kind of things that the information will be out there. We'll get to know, but generally we never hear on what happens to those grant funds. So we're going to start to do that going forward.
Great.
It's a good move.
A feedback loop.
Yeah. We'll definitely invite Crystal to the work session and hopefully she'll attend that. I know if she doesn't, I'm sure Frank will speak. Commissioner Engler would speak to this program too.
Okay, could I get a motion on this,
Sure
please?
can. Motion, review the access to the semi-annual 2% application from the Isabel Conservation District requesting $165,000 for the septic system cost share program.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 6 to the work and regular sessions of the county commission next Tuesday. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 6 will be forwarded to next week's meetings. Okay, move on to the next one. Review and assess the semi-annual 2% application from the Isabella County Material Recovery Facility requesting $150,000 for the recycling program. We have Jake here to give us the background. Morning.
Our 2% request is kind of along the same lines as what the Commission on Aging has done, in that it's just going to be a revolving every spring and fall. We're going to be basically doing the same thing. What we're asking for is $150,000 in the spring and $150,000 in the fall for use in operational budget. We were lucky enough to receive $150,000 in the fall of last year. We're asking for a total of $300,000. So we're asking again this spring for another $150,000. Really pretty much covers everything.
Great deal. Okay, I make a motion to review and access the semi-annual 2% application for the Isabel County Material Recovery Facility requesting $150,000 for the recycling program.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 7 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 7 will be forwarded to next week's meeting. Okay, and another item for Isabella County Material Recovery, that consider approving the purchase of MIT 6,000 pound capacity LP cushion tire forklift from Morrison Industrial Equipment Company for the Isabella County Material Recovery Facility in the amount of $34,829.78 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Okay,
All right. Basically what we're doing here is we're looking to try and roll equipment. The high-low is mainly, we want to be able to roll that equipment every 5 years. So that way we stay within a maintenance free working environment with that high-low. This high-low is right at that 5-year mark. So we're going to use some funding at a 2% from the fall budget to be able to cover this expense. So as it stands, as you can see, we're at a trade-in value of $5,000, leaving it $39,824.78. And we recommend that we move forward with that and ask the board chair to sign the same.
Yeah, we used to use Morris Industries, very, very good company as far as service. I mean, top notch. When you call them, they're there.
that's important.
So I need
Very, very glad to see that. Okay, consider approving the purchase of MIT 6,000 pound capacity LP cushion tire forklift from Morris Industries Incorporated for the Isabel County Material Recovery Facility in the amount of $34,829.78 and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 8 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 8 will be forwarded to next work and regular session of the county commission. Okay, another one. Consider approving the purchase of a New Holland L318G skid loader from Ellen's Equipment for the Isabella County Material Recovery Facility in the amount of $23,850 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Isn't Ellen's in Wademan or Beale City?
Bill City.
Miss City now, yes. Yeah, they bought the old Tillman's business, the Tillman's hardware business there. As you can see, we've gotten quotes from Hudson Inc., which is a John Deere dealership that's close. And then we've gotten quotes from Allen's Equipment. We've asked McConnell's Equipment for a quote, and they're not able to get us something in a time frame. And it's more that they can't get equipment right now, which every one of them, if this is approved today, I won't get a skidder until August.
Wow.
So, but the thing of it is that with this signature on a contract, we'll keep the trade-in rate, because every hour that's added on that trade-in reduces
Get less.
value.
Yeah, that makes
Reduces
sense.
value on it. So a signature on it today
Stops it.
will lock that in. Or a signature on it, I should say, next Tuesday, we'll lock that in and we'll get that trade at the trade value that we have right now.
Can we talk about the trade-in?
Yes.
Did the incident with that piece of equipment cause any issue with trade-in, or was it repaired to a state that it didn't impact trade-in value? I'm just
It
thinking
did
going
not.
forward.
Yeah, it
Really?
did not impact trade-in value because of the fact that now, and in fact, if anything, it could have enhanced trade-in value, because now
New
we're
parts.
2 years into a skidder that we'd like to roll. What you're gonna see me bring this back next year, probably in somewhere around the same time frame. The reason is that I want to get back to where we were when I originally started, and that's where we got enough trade-in value that it cost us about $6,000 or $7,000 a year to run a piece of equipment. It
Brand new every year.
completely stays in warranty, and we have very little expense on it.
Oh, that's good.
All the way around.
Pretty important.
And that's the reason why I want to get this traded now, because we have that high trade-in value still. Even though that we did have the issue with the engine, it still put us at a new engine, in a year-old piece of, almost 2-year-old piece of equipment. So it did help our trade-in value on it. But it's at the point where we need to move forward and try and get back into that rotation where
Yeah,
once a year. And there's some people who would say, well, $6,000 or $7,000 a year is a lot of money to pay on something. Not when you run,
Oh my
Not when one
not when you
repair
run-
bill can run
Yeah.
$5,000.
yeah, not when you run 1,500 to 2,000 hours in the course of a year on a piece of equipment.
Yeah,
That's
How are they with maintenance? I mean, is this something that we would maintain for the
no,
most part?
we don't have maintenance staff enough to be able to do that. Technical, as
Right,
far as.
right.
We don't have hot water or an air compressor. I really, we're not set up to maintain equipment in that shop.
But it is one of them things where it is the ideal thing is to be able to, they're very good about it. Is coming to work on the equipment. Or if they're not in a position to be able to work on something on site, they've gotten a lot better, I will say, in the fact that they will get us a skidder to be able to use while they take ours.
oh,
to
like
their
a
shop.
loaner one?
Yes.
Cool.
So they understand the importance of, why we have to have that equipment running every day. And when we're down, we can survive a couple of days without it, but it makes it very difficult.
It's kind of why I like working with McConnell's too. They're the same way. I mean, as long as you got somebody who's gonna back you up.
Well, and the
McConnell's
McConnell's has done a tremendous job of backing us up. When we've had equipment issues, McConnell's has rented us a skidder at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So, and they're more than happy to be able to still work with us on that side of it. So if, whether it was John Deere, whether it's Ellen's Equipment, if they're not able to get us that piece of equipment to use, we can rent one from, usually always from McConnell's. Right. That's why we try to keep McConnell's in the bidding loop, right? For that purpose.
Good piece of-
Got it.
Okay, I have a motion to consider approving the purchase of the New Holland L318G skid loader for the Ellen's Equipment for the Isabel County Material Recovery Facility in the amount of $23,850 and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 9 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 9 will be forwarded to next week's meeting. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Any comments or questions at this time? I thought you mentioned something. Oh, later. You were talking to him.
Oh, after the meeting.
Okay, okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
Any announcements?
Oh, good.
See you. Call to public. Is there any online?
There is not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. That being the case, I will adjourn the meeting. For all that stuff that didn't